8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
The world is not prepared.
2.
What's next?
1.
What's up, guys, and welcome to a very peculiar and unexpected time that we're living in.
Joined on the picket line by the Screen Actors Guild 8 days ago.
That's right, welcome to my very own Barbenheimer weekend, where of course I'll be giving my own reviews of two of the biggest movies of this year. That is not the Super Mario Bros. Movie anymore, Barbenheimer and... oh no, Barbenheimer. And they are Barbie and Oppenheimer. And the biggest reason of why it's been trending so much lately for these past few weeks is because that these two movies are being released on the exact same day. And this is a trend unlike any ever because literally nobody saw coming. It's a random idea that soon started spreading like wildfire across the internet with, memes, etc. But with how absolutely crazy this phenomenon has gotten, I obviously couldn't help myself but join in on the fun and on the trend too. Yeah, when my friends and I went to go watch both the movies, we were seeing people dressing up and, people running to and from in between theaters within the cinema just to catch the other one after the other. Yeah, it was just absolutely crazy. I've never seen a movie phenomenon, a trend go like this before. It's insane.
And it's not just fans. The casts and crews of the two movies are on board with the Barbenheimer mania. Both Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie showing off their tickets for Nolan's film.
While the cast of Oppenheimer had this to say about Barbie.
Best of luck to those guys. Go crush.
Go crush.
Absolutely.
Queen Barbie.
And Greta Gerwig, give us a job.
Yes. Hey, Greta.
How about hey?
Hashtag available. Okay?
I'll be going to see Barbie 100%. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, you spend the whole day in the cinema. What's better than that?
So to celebrate, again, I'll be reviewing both of these movies on each day this weekend, one after the other, like many have done so far. So be sure to smash that subscribe button so you can tune in for my Barbenheimer weekend and subsequently some other maybe related Barbenheimer videos in the next week too. Even though as of my channel status right now, I'm just assuming there's only going to be like hundreds of views so far. And this is going to be part one of my Barbenheimer weekend. And today, with part one, we're going to be starting off with Barbie, the film that my friends and I saw first. So I know that a lot of people are tending to watch Oppenheimer and then Barbie right after. That is the order that most people are watching it. But we tried. My friends and I tried. But when we tried to book Oppenheimer tickets, all the theaters, all the cinemas were full. Yeah, it was that packed and we could not find a single ticket that could fit all of us. And yeah, that's how we ended up watching Barbie first. So yeah, unfortunately, we couldn't join, most people in trying to watch both films on the same day, one after the other. We ended up having to watch, both films on separate days. But yeah, anyways, let's get on to the actual review of Barbie, and here's the synopsis. So obviously, this movie is based on the famous Barbie toy line brand by Ruth Handler of Mattel in 1959, and Mattel is the toy company that Ruth Handler started alongside her husband Eliot Handler. And this is the first live-action Barbie film after numerous animated direct-to-video Barbie films.
Yes, I am a girl like you.
Barbie as the princess and the pauper.
And it stars an ensemble cast of both Barbies and Kens and other real-world characters, including Margot Robbie as Barbie, Ryan Gosling as Ken, in which they both go on a journey of self-discovery and self-realization, including both going through existential crises relating to their respective status quos, and to even in a larger extent, to their gender stereotypes as both Barbie and Ken. So right off the bat, can I just say, and I think I could speak for pretty much all of us or most of us who went into this movie, that this movie surprised the hell out of everyone, out of all of us. Like, I'm literally still mind blown and shell-shocked of how good, amazing, brilliant, incredible, and great, and how tremendously stupendous this movie is. And like everyone else, I thought going into this, I thought it was just gonna be, and here we go with another one of these cringy, corny, cheesy films about an old toy brand. But coming out of the theater, now I realize that this movie is so much more. For me, in my personal opinion, this is the Lego movie of the Barbie brand. I think this movie is going to change the way we see Barbie, going forward forever. And it's all thanks to the brilliant writing, direction, and story by Greta Gerwig alongside her partner in work for this movie, Noah Baumbach. I don't think I would ever doubt their talents ever again for a film like this. And who knew that a female-male duo writing team behind this movie will work so well for this? Like, it's really rare to see. Because, I mean, like, the last time that this happened, yeah, this film was definitely handled with care. Like, everyone behind this movie took this project very seriously, obviously, I can see that. But also at the same time, it looks as though they're actually really having a lot of fun with this too. Like, this movie is really very self-aware. Like, even in the marketing, you can see that it says that, it's trying to attract and encourage as many people as they can to see it, whether you're a Barbie fan or not. It's one of those movies that really makes you think for a second about society and the real world at large. I mean, not just within the context of the modern times of today that we're living in right now, but also in a general sense as well. And yes, this film is a social commentary disguised as a fantasy comedy film about a famous toy brand out of all things. For instance, the concepts of patriotism and the patriarchy are discussed in this film, and I think they're covered very well for a wide, broader general audience to understand and follow through.
No, I won't let you do just one appendectomy.
But I'm a man.
But not a doctor.
Can I talk to a doctor?
You are talking to a doctor.
I need a clicky pen?
No.
A sharp thing?
No.
There he is. Doctor!
Somebody get security.
The ideas of gender stereotypes are challenged throughout the film as well. And they also implement the philosophies of gender equality as well, although this is mainly towards the end of the film, and I'll admit it was kind of subtle in a way, especially since it was pretty much at the end of the film, but I'll be honest as well, I am also a kind of a sucker for films that use the power of subtlety, especially behind their messages and meanings that leave it up to the audience's own interpretations. But most importantly, this film covers the real-life impact of the Barbie toy line brand as a whole. Starting off from its original intent from original creator Ruth Handler, who an actress plays a fictionalized version of her, and moving on to its consequences and impact, especially on younger children and kids who bought the toy, and even to adults as well, and what their perception of the Barbie brand and toy is, and later on to its controversies, which, this film covers all of that. Hey, but speaking of gender stereotypes, I'm actually not entirely sure why I decided to dress up like this, actually. More like a stereotypical Ken. I mean, I don't know why I tried to decide to look cool, but I better button up because one, I'd probably be enforcing these male gender stereotypes by dressing up like this, and two, I'd probably just look like some kind of anime character anyway. Boom. Okay, there we go. Buttoned up. And now I look like Alan, which he's still cool in this movie. Some of the action performances in this movie were also really good. And I say some because, some of the performances I thought were just really over the top and just, way too corny and cheesy, even though that may have been the point anyways. But there are two standouts in this movie for me. First one is obviously Margot Robbie. I think that she truly makes this role her own, and she really sells the character of a stereotypical or cliche Barbie. Sure, Margot Robbie is that most well-known and therefore typical blonde woman right now. However, and I think one of my friends put it best, but if it was anybody else portraying this role, I don't think this movie would have had the bigger impact than it does right now. The wide range of emotions that she could portray in this movie is just uncanny. In that she can make corny and cheesy scenes exactly that, but at the same time, for some scenes, that would typically be looked at as, corny or cheesy. At the same time, she doesn't make it that way, which therefore she gives her characters layers. And you can actually feel and root for her character that way because of that. So good on Margot Robbie for being able to pull that off, because I believe that that's no easy task. The second standout in this movie is America Ferrera's character, Gloria, which I think is a similar standing, in my opinion, alongside Margot Robbie. And she makes a very corny character to someone very serious, especially towards the end of the second act and throughout the third act as well. And where she delivers, in my personal opinion, the speech of a lifetime. And I say this because in her Inglorious speech in this film, you know, some of her words actually, there are some words within her speech in the movie that actually I can indirectly relate to or personally resonate with. Although I'm not going to go into any more personal details beyond this because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But it's really rare to see, you know, films cover this kind of sort of thing in the way, this kind of phrasing that this movie puts it. And I think it's something that, you know, films either don't cover a lot, or they just don't know how to phrase it in a way that can relate and resonate with more people other than just a specific certain demographic or audience. And I really do appreciate for this film going in that route, because I think this is something that I think many, and I'm probably assuming a lot of us, need to hear in the real world. But honestly, also throughout this film, watching America Ferrara in this film, I can honestly still hear, just hear her character, Astrid Hofferson from the How to Train Your Dragon franchise in this movie. Like, whenever she appears on screen, whenever she talks, I still hear Astrid, which is the character or her role that, you know, I just regularly or just normally or mostly associate her with. Yeah, Kate McKinnon is also in this film as well, although I actually thought it was Elizabeth Banks at first when watching this movie, until I searched it up and I was like, oh, it's Kate McKinnon, which I honestly thought that this would be the film that, you know, one of the films that Elizabeth Banks would definitely want to be a part of. So I was really surprised to see that Kate McKinnon was in this movie, and yeah, she was one of those, another one of those that absolutely killed her role as Weird Barbie.
You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
Ryan Gosling with blonde hair as Ken was definitely surprising when given, you know, the first looks at the first set photos that came online.
Oh my god!
You know, I was definitely not expecting a blonde Ken, let alone nor a diverse cast of Kens for that matter. Yeah, the Kens were way more over the top than the Barbies themselves, which I feel like was intentional, but at the same time, it was self-aware of that fact. I mean, and this fact was kind of resolved by the end of the film. Other things I could say I really liked about this film were the set design, the color scheme, and the costumes, and the music. They were all very thematic, and you know, gave the vibes of a, or literally looked like a child playhouse, Barbie doll playhouse, or just a general toy playhouse that a child or a kid would play with in general. And the movie's overall aesthetic or visual look was a combination between, you know, real life when they're transitioning to the real world, and, you know, cartoonish fantasy land when they're in Barbie land, which I thought was very befitting. So overall, to finish up my review on this movie, this was a huge surprise to pretty much the whole entire world. It started a massive trend that literally nobody saw coming. With its great acting, music, costume, and set design, you know, you could tell that they took this project very seriously, but at the same time, they were obviously having fun with it too. It's literally going to change the way we see the Barbie toy line brand as a whole forever, the same way that the Lego movie did, you know, with its respective brand as well. There were some moments that were obviously, you know, very corny and cheesy for my personal taste, but at the same time though, some scenes were, you know, meant to be anyways, and for scenes that, you know, typically, you know, they should be cringy, particularly for scenes that are filled with just obvious social and political commentary. This movie manages to take incredible, careful steps into making it not cringe, not that way, and actually impactful and meaningful in a way. And it's all thanks to the brilliant story and writing and direction, thanks to two very, very talented filmmakers. And a film that does this kind of thing, let alone a Barbie movie, is something that I think is very rare to see. You know, and it's such a treatment for moviegoers and general audiences alike. I'm going to go ahead and give this movie a 9.5 out of 10 and an A. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I literally have to do this. YOLO, right? A+. Man, who would have thought that I would give a movie like this, let alone a Barbie movie, an A+, or something above 9 or close to 10 out of 10. Yeah, it's really rare. Again, it's really rare to see movies like these, and, you know, really rare for, you know, a film about, you know, social commentary to not end up something like this.
No touching without consent.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm done here. I fulfilled my purpose. I ain't need to see no more shit down here.
Which I think the CW TV shows are the pinnacle of cringe when it comes to these kind of subjects. But yeah, it's really rare to see a Barbie film like this, or yeah, let alone a Barbie film like this that's not that way. And yeah, I think we definitely need more films like this. So alright guys, with that being said, that's gonna be my time for my movie review for Barbie, part 1 of my Barbenheimer weekend. So be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure to, you know, share it around as much as you like, and make sure to stay subscribed if you haven't already, or yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, so you can tune in for my Oppenheimer review that's coming up tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for that. I'm really excited to cover that movie, and yeah, that'll be part 2 of my Barbenheimer weekend. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and also let me know in the comments what you thought about Barbie. I'm assuming that pretty much all of you went to see it already. Did you see it one after the other? Which one did you see first, Oppenheimer or Barbie? Also let me know in the comments below what did you think of it, and if you enjoyed it, or if you hate it even. I'm assuming that a lot of people don't hate it, because it, you know, obviously it's gotten a lot of, you know, critical and audience really great reception. So yeah, let me know what you thought about the movie anyways. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow for part 2, Oppenheimer. And yeah, I'll see you guys then. Rhinos, roll out, take care, and good night.